This one is for all the Tostitos people. It's the national championship against Louisville. So this is it, the end of the road, the college national championship. Me and my team and Grant Alabaster with his terrible name are going to try to win Illinois their first ever championship in their sixth Final Four appearance, taking on the Cardinals, who feature draft prospect Chinanu Onuaku. But despite him starting 29 of Louisville's 31 games last season, he's not in the starting lineup. He's over on the bench, and you're not going to see him in these highlights, unfortunately. For me, on the court, I had a rough first half, but Roberts there to pick up the slack for me. That was only my first shot. Oh, it gets better. As I'm running up the floor trying to get into a rhythm, I see an open opportunity. Try to get one up from the block. Have to change my shot and still miss. And now here I am running all around, just trying to find some space against my matchup. He was all over me. Apparently Rick Pitino told him something, because he was practically my best friend on the court throughout the first half. Here I am taking on Sanders for Louisville. I was trying to get my hand up higher, but I guess I have a low shot contest rating, so my hand only goes up so high. So I ended up allowing a wide open three. You know, fine time to find that out in the championship when I'm trying to play some lockdown defense. Here I am taking a moving shot, and with that miss, I'm officially cold. I had blue ring, but you know, I'm a sharpshooter at heart. I got to keep putting them up because eventually they're going to come down. There's my first basket. Wish I would have drew a foul from that. I did not, but all the same, Louisville responds with a basket of their own. We're going to try to get back into the conversation here again. I'm still trying to find an opening. I tell you, Rick Pitino and his defense, he had the Cardinals prepared for me, but they weren't prepared for Roberts, as he was able to get his fourth point there. I try to gamble a little on the steal, and so does the man down on the block, and Peyton ends up throwing it down, despite him being my opponent. That was a pretty sick dunk there, but we have something for him. Here I am up top. I'm looking, examining the space between me and my matchup, and I think, yeah, that's enough. And we go up by 2, 9-7 with 2:06 left in the first. That's it for me as I go to the bench for the remainder of the half, but we are able to maintain the lead. 2 big threes while I was on the bench, so it ends up being 15-9 at the half. I have 5 points on 2 of 6 shooting. The rest of my team shooting 4 of 5, so thank goodness for great teammates. So we come into the beginning of the second half here, and Louisville wants to send a message, a wide open three to split the deficit in half. But I definitely have something for him because, as I said before, I'm a sharpshooter. I'm just going to keep putting it up no matter what, including that offhand, off-balance layup. That's still 2 points for me as I have 7. So we're trying to lock down Louisville. Price going through it with the dribble moves. He ends up losing the ball, and it ends with a Campbell fast break. You know he had to get in one more after such a great performance against Wake Forest. And then here's Roberts again. My teammates going at it. They want this championship just as much as I do. Roberts had 6, and they were 6 very crucial points. Here's Peyton going up. That's a very interesting shooting stance, but it still goes in. But that ends up being Louisville's last field goal made in this entire game, and you see how much time is on the clock. And now here I am trying to size up. I think I'm Harden or something. And so I pull back, but I try to get it down to Harper on the block, thinking they got an easier shot. No, I have an easier shot. I knocked down the 3, but that ends up being my last field goal of my college career as I end up on the bench for the remainder of the game. We were up by 10. Louisville only gets one more free throw, and with that, Illinois ends up winning their first ever NCAA championship behind 10 points and a rebound from me and an awesome output from the rest of my teammates. This celebration is a little more subdued. If only we went as crazy as we did after Midnight Mania.
talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Man,
that's how you win a game.
Live,
that's
bro.
what I'm talking about. Give me some.
I've never felt that type of energy in an arena, man.
I noticed I kind of left Grant hanging there. Didn't notice that the first several times around. But yeah, hopefully that cutscene works in lieu of the quote-unquote celebration they gave us at the end of the national championship, the first in school history. But in terms of my individual performance, it wasn't great. I had a terrible night shooting. I only ended up with 10 points. But in the end, I do still end up being a lottery pick. So hopefully that carries over into 2K17 and I can get a good draft position and end up getting picked up by a team where I can go and flourish. But despite my lackluster performance in the championship, there is one person that was still impressed with my body of work. We're going to meet him and his team in the next video. I thank you for watching. Be sure to give this video a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more great videos. I'll catch you next time.